How to Educate Yourself So Great by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. The Magic of Your Mind. Your mind is a wondrous machine, far more powerful than any computer ever built. Yet most people go through life never discovering its true potential. I want you to understand something remarkable today. You become what you think about most of the time. Think about that for a moment. The thoughts you hold in your mind right now are shaping the person you'll become tomorrow. Just as a farmer plants seeds in fertile soil, you plant thoughts in the garden of your mind. Plant corn, you get corn. Plant weeds, you get weeds. It's really that simple. Many years ago, I discovered this profound truth. The great thinkers throughout history have known it too. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Buddha taught all that we are is the result of what we have as the result of what we have thought. These weren't just pretty words. They were revealing the fundamental law that governs human achievement. Your thoughts are like magic seeds. When you hold a thought in your mind, especially with emotion and repetition, it begins to take root. Over time, that thought grows into reality in your life. This isn't wishful thinking. It's how your mind naturally works. Consider two students starting the 5th grade. One thinks school is boring. I'm not smart enough. The other thinks I can learn anything if I try. Each lesson makes me smarter. Which student do you think will do better? The difference isn't in their natural ability. It's in what they tell themselves every day. Most people never discover this simple truth because they let their thoughts run wild like an untended garden. They wake up worried, spend the day complaining, and go to bed fearful. Then they wonder why their life doesn't improve. Starting today, I want you to become the gardener of your mind. Choose what you'll plant there carefully. When a negative thought appears, pull it out like a weed. Replace it with something better. Here's a simple exercise to begin. Start a daily thought journal. Each morning, take 5 minutes to write down exactly what you want to become. Be specific about your goal. Maybe you want to become an excellent student or develop a special skill. Write it down in detail. Throughout the day, whenever your mind is free, waiting in line, walking to class, before falling asleep, return to this thought. Make it vivid. See yourself already having achieved your goal. How does it feel? What does it look like? The more real you make it in your mind, the faster your thoughts will transform into reality. Remember, your mind is magical, but the magic follows rules. The rule is simple. You become what you think about most. Guard your thoughts carefully, for they become your destiny. Plant magnificent thoughts today, and watch as your life grows into something equally magnificent tomorrow. Lesson 2. Setting your North Star. Have you ever watched a ship sailing across the vast ocean? Without a compass and a clear destination, it would simply drift aimlessly, pushed by whatever currents and winds come its way. My friends, too many people live their lives exactly like this, without direction, without purpose, without a destination in mind. A ship without direction will never reach any port. This simple truth applies to your education journey as well. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you've arrived? How will you know which books to read, which skills to develop, which opportunities to pursue? Clear goals are the starting point of all achievement. They are your North Star, that bright, unwavering point of light that guides sailors across the darkest seas. When you have a clear educational goal, something magical happens inside your mind. It begins working day and night to help you reach that destination. Think about the last time you really wanted something. Perhaps it was a bicycle when you were younger, or a special toy. Remember how your mind kept returning to that desire? How you noticed advertisements for it that you'd never seen before? How you started seeing that item everywhere? That's your mind's reticular activating system at work, helping you notice opportunities that will move you toward your goal. When you know exactly what you want to learn, your mind works in exactly the same way. Suddenly, you'll notice articles, books, and conversations related to your goal. Opportunities to learn and grow. Opportunities to learn and grow will appear almost as if by magic. But there's no magic involved, just the incredible power of a mind with clear direction. Most people fail in their education, not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they aim at nothing and hit it with amazing accuracy. They drift through school, through books, through life, sampling a little of this and a little of that, but never focusing their efforts toward a meaningful destination. Let me share with you a simple but powerful exercise called the goal card. Write your main educational goal on a small card, something you can carry in your pocket or purse. Make it specific and positive. Instead of, "I want to stop being bad at math," write, "I am becoming excellent at solving algebra problems." Carry this card with you everywhere. Read it at least 3 times daily, when you wake up, at lunch, and before bed, when you wake up, at lunch, and before bed. This simple practice plants your goal deeply in your mind. Each time you read your goal, you're adjusting your compass, making sure you're still sailing toward your North Star. You're telling your mind exactly what to look for, what to notice, what to work on. Remember, just as no sailor would dare set out across the ocean without knowing which port they're heading for, you shouldn't begin your education journey without a clear destination in mind. Set your North Star today. Write down your goal. Carry it with you. Read it often, and watch as your mind begins to work wonders in helping you reach your educational destination. Lesson 3. The 30-Day Mental Diet. Your mind needs nourishment, just as surely as your body requires proper food. But have you ever stopped to consider what you're feeding, that remarkable instrument between your ears? Most folks go through life allowing just about anything to enter their minds. They wake up and immediately flood their thoughts with worries, then perhaps some negative news on television, followed by complaints from coworkers, and end the day with violent or mindless entertainment. Then they wonder why they feel stuck, unhappy, or confused about their purpose. My friends, this is no way to treat the most powerful tool you possess. Your mind deserves better care than this. Just as you wouldn't fill your car with mud instead of gasoline, you shouldn't fill your mind with mental pollution. Negative thoughts, useless information, and harmful ideas are like mental junk food. They might seem satisfying in the moment, but they leave you mentally sluggish and unable to perform at your best. The good news is that you can change this pattern starting today. I call it the 30-Day Mental Diet, and it works wonders for anyone willing to try it. For the next 30 days, make a commitment to be extremely careful about what you allow into your mind. Replace 1 hour of television each day with reading a good book or listening to educational material. Find information that lifts you up, teaches you something valuable, or inspires you to greater heights. Keep a simple log of what you learned each day. Just a sentence or two about a new idea that struck you. This little habit creates awareness of what you're actually putting into your mind. During this mental diet, also guard against negative conversations. When others begin complaining or gossiping, either guide the conversation towards something positive or politely excuse yourself. Remember, these negative words are trying to take up residence in your mind. Now, I'm not suggesting you ignore reality or pretend problems don't exist, but there's a world of difference between facing a challenge with a solution-oriented mindset and simply wallowing in negativity. The remarkable thing about this 30-day period is what happens to your thinking. Like a pond where no new mud is being stirred up, your mind begins to clear. Creative ideas flow more easily. Problems that once seemed overwhelming now appear manageable. Opportunities you never noticed before suddenly become visible. What you feed your mind determines your mental health, and your mental health largely determines the quality of your life and your ability to learn. Remember this truth: positive input creates positive output in your life. The books you read, the conversations you have, the programs you watch, these aren't just passing through your mind. They're forming the person you're becoming. Begin your mental diet today. Your future self will thank you for this simple but profound gift. Lesson 4. The Law of the Farm. Have you ever watched a farmer at work? There's a certain wisdom in the way a farmer approaches his livelihood. He knows that he cannot plant seeds today and expect to harvest a crop tomorrow. Nature simply doesn't work that way, and neither does your education. This is what I call the law of the farm, and it's one of the most powerful principles you'll ever learn about educating yourself. The farmer understands that success comes from planting the right seeds at the right time, then nurturing them day after day. He knows that skipping even a few days of watering or care can damage or destroy what he's growing. The harvest comes only after weeks and months of consistent effort. Your mind works exactly the same way. You cannot read one book today and expect to be educated tomorrow. You cannot study for 1 hour this week and expect to master a subject by next week. The process of becoming educated follows natural laws that cannot be cheated or shortcut. Most people want instant results. They're impatient. They plant seeds today and dig them up tomorrow to see if they're growing. Then they wonder why nothing ever blooms in their garden of knowledge. They fail to understand this simple truth. Small daily efforts compound into remarkable results over time. I once met a man who became fluent in Spanish in just 18 months. Do you know how he did it? Not by studying for 8 hours every Saturday. No, he studied for just 20 minutes every single day without fail. He understood the law of the farm. Those small daily deposits into his knowledge account eventually created a fortune of fluency. Remember this: patience and persistence are far more valuable than raw talent when it comes to educating yourself. The person who studies a subject for 15 minutes daily will far surpass the genius who studies sporadically. Think about how water shapes stone in nature. A gentle stream doesn't seem powerful in any given moment, but that same stream, flowing consistently day after day, year after year, can carve through solid rock and create magnificent canyons. Your daily learning habits work the same way on the bedrock of ignorance. The law of the farm teaches us that there are no overnight successes. Behind every sudden achievement lies years of preparation, study, and work that others didn't see. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Start small. Choose one area you wish to learn about. Commit to studying it for just 15 minutes every day. Don't worry about slow progress. Natural growth is always slow at first. The bamboo tree appears to do nothing for 4 years while developing its root system underground. Then suddenly, in the 5th year, it grows up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Your education follows the same pattern. Trust the process. Plant your seeds of knowledge today. Water them daily with attention and effort. Be patient during the quiet growing season. Your harvest of wisdom will come as surely as the farmer's crops when the time is right. Lesson 5, Your Attitude Altitude. What is the single most important factor that determines how high you'll soar in life? Is it your intelligence, your background, the opportunities that come your way? No, it's your attitude, plain and simple. Your attitude is the window through which you view the world. And here's a remarkable truth I've discovered in my years of studying successful people. Attitude is more important than facts. Two people can face exactly the same situation. One sees disaster, while the other spots opportunity. The difference isn't in what they're looking at, but in how they choose to see it. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to float through difficulties with a smile, while others are dragged down by the smallest inconvenience? The circumstances aren't different. Their attitudes are. Problems are just opportunities wearing work clothes. Every challenge that comes your way carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The person with the right attitude doesn't waste time complaining about the problem. They're too busy looking for the opportunity hidden within it. What most people never realize is that your attitude is entirely your choice. Each morning when you wake up, you decide whether you'll approach the day with enthusiasm or dread. No one can force you to have a bad attitude. That's a choice you make yourself, and it's possibly the most important choice you'll make all day. Your attitude works like an airplane's altitude. The higher your attitude, the farther you can see, the more options become available to you, and the easier it is to rise above the storms that ground others. A positive attitude literally expands your vision of what's possible. I've found that gratitude is the fastest way to elevate your attitude. It's nearly impossible to maintain a negative outlook when you're focused on what you're thankful for. Even in your darkest moments, there are blessings to count if you train your mind to look for them. Try this simple exercise. Before your feet hit the floor each morning, take 1 minute, just 60 seconds. to think of 3 specific things you're grateful for, not general things like my family, but specific moments. The way my daughter laughed at dinner last night, or the helpful email from my colleague. Watch how this tiny practice begins to change your entire outlook. Your attitude creates a kind of mental gravity. A positive attitude pulls opportunities toward you. People want to help someone who radiates optimism. Doors open more easily. Solutions appear more readily. It's not magic. It's the natural consequence of how human beings respond to each other. Remember, the height of your success will rarely exceed the height of your attitude. Raise your attitude, and you raise everything else in your life along with it. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. It's a practical principle that has transformed countless lives, and it can transform yours too if you'll put it into practice starting today. Lesson 6. The Golden Hour. The first hour of your day is like the rudder of a mighty ship. It may seem small compared to the entire vessel, but it determines the direction of your journey. I've studied the habits of successful people for many years, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that how you spend your first waking hour has more impact on your life than almost any other decision you make. Think about it, friend. When you wake up, your mind is fresh. It's like a clean slate, ready to be written upon. The thoughts you plant during this golden hour will grow throughout your day. When you fill this precious time with purposeful activity, you set yourself up for a day of achievement rather than a day of reaction. Most people squander this golden opportunity. They reach for their phone and immediately begin responding to the demands of others. They allow the news, social media, and messages to hijack their focus before they've even decided what they want from their own day. Is it any wonder so many folks feel like life is controlling them instead of the other way around? The golden hour is your chance to take command of your ship before the winds and currents of daily life begin to push you around. During this time, your mind is most receptive to new ideas and least cluttered by the noise of the world. Imagine for a moment 2 different mornings. In the first, you wake up and immediately check your phone. You see distressing news headlines, work emails demanding attention, and social media posts making you feel inadequate. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tense. Before your feet even touch the floor, you're already stressed and reactive. Now imagine instead that you wake up and spend 20 quiet minutes on yourself. You read something inspiring. You review your goals. You sit in peaceful thought. You move your body gently. When you finally engage with the outside world, you do so from a position of mental strength and clarity. Which person do you think will have the better day? The golden hour isn't just about feeling good, though that's certainly a benefit. It's about priming your mind for productivity and positive thinking. It's about taking control of your attention before others try to steal it away. The most successful people understand that willpower is strongest in the morning, and they use this to their advantage. Try this simple approach. Create a 20-minute morning routine. Spend 5 minutes reading something valuable that feeds your mind with positive, uplifting thoughts. Then take 5 minutes to plan your day, focusing on your most important tasks. Follow this with 5 minutes of quiet thinking or meditation, allowing your mind to settle. Finally, spend 5 minutes moving your body to wake up physically. This small investment will pay dividends throughout your day. You'll find yourself more focused, more positive, and more in control of your responses to whatever challenges arise. The golden hour truly is golden. It's a treasure that, when used wisely, enriches every other hour that follows. Lesson 7. The Strangest Secret. I'd like to share with you today what I consider to be the strangest secret in the world. This secret has been passed down through the ages, whispered by the truly successful, yet most people will never grasp its profound simplicity. The strangest secret is this: we become what we think about most of the time. This powerful truth was taught by the great thinkers throughout history. Buddha said, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought." The Bible tells us, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "A man is what he thinks about all day long." Your mind works exactly like a farmer's field. Whatever seeds you plant, whatever thoughts you regularly think, will grow and produce a harvest of the same kind. Plant corn, you get corn. Plant success, you get success. Plant failure through doubt and worry, and failure is what you'll harvest. Most people never discover this secret because it seems too simple. They look for complicated formulas and fancy tricks. But the truth remains, your thoughts are shaping your future, right now, in this very moment. Here's how this works in real life. If you constantly think about math and solving problems, your mind becomes better at math. If you think about kind words to say to others, your conversations improve. If you focus on finding opportunities, you'll spot them everywhere. But there's a warning here, too. Many folks think mostly about what they fear or don't want. They worry about bills, think about sickness, or focus on past mistakes. And guess what? Their minds faithfully work to bring more of these very things into their lives. That's why it's so important to guard your thoughts carefully. Your mind doesn't judge what you feed it. It simply works to create more of whatever you focus on most. Try this experiment. For the next 7 days, focus your thoughts on exactly what you want to become. If you want to be healthier, think thoughts of vibrant health. If you want to be smarter, imagine yourself learning and growing. Picture it clearly, believe it completely, and feel the emotions of already having achieved it. The best way to control your thoughts is to write them down. Get a small notebook and carry it with you. When negative thoughts appear, write them down. Then immediately replace them with thoughts of what you truly want. This simple practice will change your life. Remember, this secret isn't just positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's a law of how your mind operates. The thoughts you choose today are creating the person you'll be tomorrow. That's why the strangest secret is also the most powerful tool you possess. Your mind is always working, always creating. The only question is, what are you telling it to create? Choose your thoughts with the same care you'd choose the seeds for your garden, and watch how your life transforms before your eyes. Lesson 8. Your environment shapes your results. Your environment will shape who you become. This simple truth, often overlooked, holds tremendous power for anyone wishing to educate themselves and grow smarter each day. The people, places, and conditions that surround you silently mold your thoughts, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine the height of your achievement. I once visited 2 homes on the same street. In the first, books filled the shelves, intelligent conversations flowed freely at dinner, and learning was celebrated. In the second, the television blared constantly, complaints dominated discussion, and education was viewed as a burden. Years later, the children from these homes led remarkably different lives. The environment had spoken. Your mind works much like a sponge, constantly absorbing whatever surrounds it. Place a sponge in clean water, and it becomes clean. Place it in dirty water, and it becomes dirty water, and it becomes dirty. Similarly, surround yourself with knowledge, growth, and positive influences, and your mind will reflect these qualities. Surround yourself with negativity, limitation, and mediocrity, and these too will become part of your thinking. The good news is that unlike many circumstances in life, you can control much of your environment. You can select the books on your shelf, the podcasts in your earbuds, and often the people with whom you spend your time. This power of selection may be the greatest advantage in your journey toward self-education. Begin by examining your physical space. Is it conducive to learning? A cluttered desk often reflects a cluttered mind. Create a special place dedicated to your growth, perhaps a comfortable chair with good lighting or a small desk where distractions are minimized. This becomes your learning sanctuary, a physical reminder of your commitment to improvement. Next, consider what I call your mental diet, the information you regularly consume. Television programs, social media feeds, conversations, and reading material all contribute to this diet. Most people never examine what they're feeding their minds each day. They wouldn't dream of eating spoiled food, yet they consume mental junk without hesitation. The people around you form, perhaps, the most critical aspect of your environment. The 5 people with whom you spend the most time will strongly influence your thinking, aspirations, and results. Look closely at these relationships. Do they encourage your growth or limit it? Do they challenge you to think more deeply or pull you toward complacency? Take action by creating a growth-friendly environment. Place books where you'll see them regularly. Subscribe to publications that expand your knowledge. Join groups where learning is valued. Join groups where learning is valued. Seek mentors who have achieved what you hope to achieve. Remove or reduce negative influences when possible. Environments have momentum. Once established, they tend to perpetuate themselves. A learning environment generates more learning. A stagnant environment breeds more stagnation. Your task is to intentionally design surroundings that pull you toward growth rather than away from it. Your environment is either working for you or against you. There is no neutral ground. Make your surroundings a powerful ally in your quest to educate yourself and become smarter each day. Lesson 9. Becoming your own teacher. The greatest education you'll ever receive doesn't happen in a classroom. It happens in the quiet moments when you decide to become your own teacher. This is a concept that most people never fully grasp, that the responsibility for your education rests squarely on your shoulders, not on any teacher, school, or system. You see, the world is filled with lessons. They're everywhere, in books and conversations, in successes, and especially in failures. The difference between those who grow and those who don't is simply a matter of awareness. Those who educate themselves so great are always on the lookout for the lesson in every experience. Think of yourself as a detective of knowledge. Each day presents new clues about how the world works and how you can work better within it. Your job is to spot these clues, collect them, and connect them into a meaningful picture. This detective work isn't something you do occasionally. It's a way of life. The average person walks through life with their eyes half closed, missing the extraordinary lessons hidden in ordinary moments. Don't be average. Keep your eyes wide open. Ask questions constantly. Why did that work? Why did this fail? What can I learn here? How can I use this information? Books are your patient teachers waiting to share centuries of wisdom. When you read, don't just pass your eyes over the words. Engage with the ideas. Talk back to the author in your mind. Mark passages that strike you. Write in the margins. Make the book yours through your interaction with it. Conversations can be classrooms if you approach them correctly. Listen more than you speak. Ask thoughtful questions. Consider different viewpoints without immediately judging them. Some of the most profound lessons I've learned came from people who saw the world completely differently than I did. Your failures are perhaps your most valuable teachers, though they're often the teachers we want to avoid most. When something doesn't work out, don't run from the disappointment. Sit with it. Examine it. What went wrong? What could you have done differently? What will you do next time? The person who learns from mistakes ultimately makes fewer of them. Develop the habit of reflection. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to think about what you learned. It might be a fact, a skill, an insight about yourself, or an observation about others. Write it down. This simple practice will accelerate your growth tremendously. Education isn't about collecting information. It's about transformation. The point isn't to know more. It's to become more. Every bit of knowledge should change you in some small way, making you more capable, more understanding, or more effective. The world rewards those who take charge of their own education. While others wait to be taught, you can stride ahead by teaching yourself. While others expect knowledge to be handed to them, you can actively seek it out. This one decision, to become your own teacher, will set you apart from the crowd and put you on the path to achievement that most only dream about. Lesson 10. The power of your questions. The quality of your life depends largely on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. I discovered this truth many years ago, and it has proven itself time and again in the lives of successful men and women throughout history. Consider this. When you ask yourself poor questions, you receive poor answers. But when you ask yourself powerful questions, your mind immediately goes to work finding equally powerful answers. It's as simple as that, yet most people never realize this tremendous tool sitting right between their ears. Your mind is like a faithful servant, always eager to please. When you ask it questions, it must answer. Ask, "Why am I so tired all the time?" And your mind will dutifully provide a list of reasons for your fatigue. But ask instead, "How can I create more energy in my life?" And that same mind will begin generating solutions. The difference is dramatic, isn't it? One question leads to explanations and excuses. The other leads to possibilities and action. Here's something remarkable. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a question you ask yourself and a question someone else asks you. It simply hears the question and begins searching for answers. This means you can program your own mind by carefully choosing your questions. Start your day with "What am I grateful for today?" rather than "What do I have to do today?" Watch how your outlook transforms. Replace "Why can't I remember what I read?" with "How can I improve my memory of what I study?" Notice how your mind shifts from focusing on limitations to seeking solutions. Children understand this instinctively. They ask dozens, sometimes hundreds of questions daily. Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly? What makes a rainbow? Their natural curiosity drives their learning. Somewhere along the way, many of us lose this gift. We stop questioning. We stop questioning. We stop wondering. And when we stop questioning, we stop growing. The most successful learners maintain this childlike curiosity throughout their lives. They never stop asking questions. They approach each day as a detective, looking for clues, seeking understanding, remaining hungry for knowledge. Make it a habit to carry a small notebook. When a question pops into your mind, write it down. Lay it down. Later seek the answer. You'll be amazed at how much you learn simply by honoring your curiosity this way. Remember, too, that questions direct focus. Whatever follows the words "why am I" or "why can't I" is what your mind will emphasize. Choose wisely. Ask "why am I so good at solving problems?" rather than "why am I so bad at math?" The questions themselves plant seeds in your mental garden. The ancient Greeks understood this. Socrates built an entire method of teaching around asking the right questions. He knew that proper questions lead students to discover knowledge for themselves. Today, try this simple practice. Before reading anything new, write down 3 questions you hope to answer through your reading. Your mind will automatically scan the material for those answers, increasing both your comprehension and retention. This small habit alone can dramatically improve your learning ability. Your questions determine your direction. Choose them with care, and they will lead you to wisdom. Lesson 11, The Library Without Walls. We live in a remarkable time, a time when the greatest minds, the most profound ideas, and the most valuable knowledge in human history are available to us at our fingertips. Never before has there been such abundant opportunity for self-education, yet so few take advantage of this magnificent feast that lies before them. In the old days, if you wanted to learn something new, you needed access to universities, expensive books, or teachers who possessed the knowledge you sought. Today, the world is transformed into what I like to call a library without walls. A vast expanse of learning opportunities that requires only your attention and curiosity. Think about this for a moment. The same internet that many use merely for entertainment or distraction contains within it virtual doorways to mastery in virtually any subject imaginable. The average person carries in their pocket a device with more computing power than what sent astronauts to the moon. Yet many use this miracle tool primarily to scroll through social media or play games. What separates the achievers from the dreamers is not access to information. It's the deliberate choice to see technology as a gateway to growth rather than merely a source of amusement. Let me share with you a simple truth. Your education is now entirely in your own hands. There are online courses taught by world-class professors. There are podcasts where experts distill decades of wisdom into digestible conversations. There are video tutorials that can teach you skills step by step. There are digital books on every conceivable topic. The question is not, can I learn this? But rather, will I make the time to learn this? Make it a habit to treat your phone, your computer, and your tablet as learning tools, first and entertainment devices, Second, set aside just 20 minutes each day to learn something new online. Perhaps it's a foreign language through one of the many free applications available. Maybe it's watching educational videos that explain complex concepts in simple terms. It could be joining online communities where people share knowledge freely. Remember this: information becomes knowledge only when you apply it. Knowledge becomes wisdom only when you reflect on it. As you explore this library without walls, don't just consume information passively. Take notes. Practice what you learn. Teach someone else what you've discovered. The act of sharing knowledge solidifies your understanding in remarkable ways. Your mind is like a searchlight. Wherever you point it, that's what you'll illuminate in this vast library. Be intentional about where you direct that light. Create a list of subjects you wish to explore. Schedule specific times to learn about them. Turn casual moments of downtime into opportunities for growth. The greatest achievers in history would have marveled at the learning resources you now have available. They would have seen it as nothing short of miraculous. Honor their legacy by using these tools to become the best version of yourself. The library without walls awaits you. All you need to do is step inside and begin exploring. Lesson 12. Your daily magnificent obsession. The greatest achievers in human history shared one remarkable quality. They were obsessed with improvement. Not merely interested, not occasionally concerned, but genuinely obsessed with getting better every single day. This magnificent obsession is the final key that will unlock your potential and complete your journey of self-education. Think about this. Every morning you awaken to a fresh opportunity to grow. While most people see each day as something to get through, the truly successful see each day as something to get from. They understand that education isn't something that happens in a classroom for a few years. It's a lifelong commitment to excellence that never ends. You must make learning your magnificent obsession. When you're waiting in line, what are you thinking about? When you're driving to work or school, what's playing through your speakers? When you have a spare 15 minutes, how do you spend it? These small moments reveal your true priorities. The average person will watch over 3,000 hours of television this year. Imagine if you reclaim just 1 hour each day for focused learning. That's 365 hours in a year. Enough time to become knowledgeable in almost any subject that interests you. Small changes in daily habits create enormous differences over time. Your mind is always working on something. The question is, are you directing it toward what matters most? Most people let their minds wander aimlessly like an untrained puppy, chasing whatever thought happens to cross their path. But you now know better. You understand that your thinking determines your destiny. Make it your magnificent obsession to learn something valuable every single day. It could be a new word, a historical fact, a scientific principle, or a practical skill. The subject matters less than the habit of constant improvement. This daily discipline separates winners from wishers. Education isn't about memorizing facts. It's about transforming yourself. Every book you read, every conversation you have, every experience you absorb changes who you are in small but significant ways. Over time, these changes compound into wisdom that cannot be taken from you. The world belongs to learners. In our rapidly changing world, the ability to educate yourself continuously is the ultimate competitive advantage. Those who stop learning because they've finished school have misunderstood the very purpose of education. The diploma isn't the finish line. It's just the starting block. Your magnificent obsession with growth will make you unstoppable. While others complain about circumstances, you'll be too busy improving yourself to notice limitations. While others make excuses, you'll make progress. Each day, by dedicating yourself to becoming better than you were yesterday, you move steadily toward your highest potential. Let this be your daily pledge. I will not go to bed tonight until I am a little wiser than when I awoke this morning. This simple commitment, followed with determination, will transform your life beyond recognition. The education you give yourself will always be your most valuable possession. Now you know how to educate yourself so great. The rest is up to you